Yes, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. New year, new me. New year, new you. Hello, everybody. I am your host for this evening. Obviously, it's just me. God, I'm itching to do a Guitar Souls podcast. I'm going to be your host for this evening, Mr. Levi Clay, and I'm here transcribing some of the incredible Tony Rice. And this is like something that I've wanted to do for at least 6 months on my Patreon page. But I've just kind of been forced. My hand has been forced because, of course, as those of you watching probably know, Tony passed away. I think it was Boxing Day, and yeah, what a great opportunity to look into or spend some time.
You want to know why?
Sorry, don't want to know why. Sorry, I'm just checking the audio is working. Yeah, great opportunity to look into one of the all-time greats of. Yeah, it's working fine. One of the all-time greats of bluegrass picking. So an incredible player. You're going to learn a lot from this if you're unfamiliar with the bluegrass flat picking style. We're going to really delve into not just the lines that Tony plays, but the kind of system that's in place for learning this type of thing, or how it appears that he's visualizing this type of thing. So that should be a lot of fun. I just need to share this video, obviously, because we need it out to as many people as possible. That makes these videos a lot more enjoyable. So let's get this out on Facebook. And if you're online watching this, please do come and say hello. Is that working properly? It's not working. Yay. Live. Transcribing Tony Rice. Ugh, just post that in the Bluegrass group as well. Oh, I hate it when Facebook does that. Like, why would you do this to me? I've given this a thumbnail. Why is it not displaying the proper thumbnail? Oh, technology it's wonderful when it works, don't you think? And then just sometimes it just doesn't work, and it should work, but it doesn't, and kiss my ass, technology. So, love it. I love nothing more than when Google emails me to let me know that I'm live on my own channel. I know, motherfucker. I put this live. I'm the reason this is live. I put it here. So, thanks for that. Yes, so we are going to be looking at Tony Rice live with the All-Star Jam group playing the 9-Pound Hammer, which is a song that I've played many times before and not one that I would usually play as a flat picking thing. Usually I'll be doing this kind of Travis picking style. Classic. I think it was probably the first thing I learned in that Travis picking style, actually. Absolute classic. Yeah, sorry, just seeing that my Facebook, Instagram posts, because of course I just uploaded a Rage Time video, which is always fun, right? I've not done one of those since January last year, so that's nice. Right, so yeah, what we're going to do is I've just lost you. Where are you? Normally I'm more organised than this. It's not an impromptu stream, but I lost track of the days. I knew I was streaming on Saturday, and then I've been working all day, and I'm like, oh shit, I was going to stream today. So I've had to set that all up. As usual, this stream is brought to you by my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. Thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support. If you can see your name there scrolling, you're awesome. If you can't see your name scrolling, well, there's still time to be awesome. Link in the description. You can support me for as little as $1. Big burps. And if that doesn't suit, of course, I have several books available. If you want to learn anything about country guitar or slide guitar, I'm your man for some reason. That is something that I'm pretty passionate about. And yeah, lots and lots of books. Please do go and check them out. They keep the lights on, and as long as these lights stay on, I'll keep doing live streams. So yeah, do that. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thanks very much for your support. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the video. So I've got the video loaded up here in Transcribe. I have marked out the solos. I'm going to have the video playing down here, and of course I'll be notating in Guitar Pro. I'll deal in tuning and things like that in a second. What I thought I would do, and it's stuff like this I usually find pretty parasitic. You see, guitar teacher reacts to, and then just plays a video of something that he didn't create, and then just talks about it. And it's always live videos. You'd never see someone do that with a studio recording, right? And that's because, well, they couldn't monetize that. It would get claimed. But here I am doing the same thing. Because I know there'll be many of you out there that watch this video after the fact, and you'll be unfamiliar with this particular style of playing, this bluegrass style of playing, this hot picking style. I love this stuff. I think there's nothing cooler than, you know, a man and a guitar. And of course, there's a group here. He's playing with a group. But what I mean is someone that isn't relying on amplifiers and pedals and things like that. Like, this is just there's nothing between the man and the music here. And that's really cool. It's an art form in its own right, and you have to play in a certain way to have this work. And of course, Tony Rice, one of the greats, one of the best known for this style. And sadly missed one on the bluegrass scene now. So, right, let's take a look at this video so you can get a feel for what we're going to be looking at. Mark O'Connor on fiddle.
Well, the 9-pound hammer is a little too heavy. Mighty for my side. Mighty for my side.
I really like the vocal harmonies in this stuff.
Don't you roll so slow? How can love roll when the wheels won't go?
What a pickup. Microphone now. So this is a dobro. It's essentially like a lap steel guitar, but it's a very high action, played with a slide bar. Super cool instrument. Just take a listen to it.
It's a long way to Harlem.
Love it.
And a long way to Hazard. Just to get a little brew. Just to get a little brew. Well, buddy.
They're all about those vocal harmonies.
How can love roll when the wheels don't go?
Of course, mandolin, another integral part of the bluegrass sound. Really rocking it.
I'm going on the mountain, gotta see my baby. And I ain't coming back, no, I ain't coming back. Well, come on, buddy, don't you roll so slow. How can love roll when the wheels won't go?
And Mark O'Connor's going to rip it up on the fiddle. Also a great guitar player. And I'm still playing because there is another Tony Rice solo at the end of this.
Don't you roll so slow? How can love roll when the wheels won't roll?
So it certainly misses the changes a little bit on this. Still some killer licks in there to steal. Okay, so that's 9-Pound Hammer, an absolute classic, classic of the bluegrass genre. It's just a staple of that kind of Kentucky thumb picking style. Though obviously not done in that particular style here. And I like this because there's lots and lots of great videos of Tony Rice playing. I like this one in particular because I think it's a very good mix. You can really hear what's going on. You can see a lot of the position playing. And yeah, that's nice. And there's definitely some very cool licks in here. I may come back to doing some other videos of Tony's playing because, you know, just an astonishing player. Like, there's no doubt about it, astonishing player. But I thought this would be a wonderful introduction to his playing. So the first thing to note when we're looking at this, let me just bring my screen up so I can see myself. First thing to note when watching him play this, and you probably spotted this immediately, but if I go to the first guitar solo, we can see he's got a capo on the 2nd fret. Okay, and actually when you watch him play, and if you know anything about the kind of bluegrass style, the guys that play that style play within position, so there's certain keys that they like playing, and they like playing in G, they like playing in D. You know, it's less likely to find a bluegrass tune where a guitar player is playing in the key of B flat. If you have a tune that's in the key of B flat, it's a lot more likely that you're going to maybe put the capo on the 3rd fret and play the open G chord shapes. So you're treating the guitar as a transposing instrument. Capo on 3rd fret, playing out of your G position, that would transpose to B flat. So in this particular instance, Tony has a capo on the 2nd fret. He's playing out of the G position. So G position, but really he's in A. He's playing the key of A here. Which, yeah, sure, why not? You can play this tune in A. Cool. And the reason I point that out is when you watch him play, it's kind of useful for, you know, chord changes and knowing the changes for a tune. If we look at his chord shape, so this is I'm gonna call it in the non-transposed way. So this is a C chord. He's playing a C chord there. The G chord, D chord, and then back to the G chord. So G, C, G, D, G. Okay. So the reason I point that out is it is absolutely going to be important when it comes to soloing, because what makes this style work, what makes this style really tick, is making sure that you're really outlining the chord changes when you're playing. Guys that solo over this, they don't go, okay, so I'm playing a tune that's in G, for argument's sake, say it's in G. They don't just go, okay, I'm going to play the G major scale over all of this. That's not really how it works. Each chord is addressed, and that's the thing that makes this music work. If you just take a G major scale and solo over this full chord progression just using that G major scale, you're going to be playing the right notes, but you're not going to be playing the right notes, if that makes sense. You won't be playing the right notes in the right places. There are certain notes from the G major scale that sound garbage over a G chord. For example, the note C doesn't sound so great over a G chord. And then there are some notes in the G major scale, like F sharp, that when you go to your C chord, it's not the best note to be landing on for that C chord, so on and so forth. Playing the chords is really important as part of this style. So let's take a look at what Tony does. Oh, okay, I need to sort my tuning out. So I'm just going to go to Guitar Pro, change the track. I'm going to go down into, oh, where do we even do that? It's under tuning, isn't it? More. No. Yeah, click that button, put a capo on the 2nd fret. So now we should be in tune. Now, actually, I'm assuming he's at concert pitch. I've not actually checked this. Yeah, A. So we've got a lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and the other thing to consider with this is it's a quick, you might consider it like a 2-2 feel. I always go for that when you have this, the fast moving bass part. So the bass is going bum, 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 but that bass part is being played on beats 1 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You wouldn't really want to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's not really the feel here. If you wanted to count chord notes, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the feel for this. I was probably out of sync with that when I did that. But hopefully that makes some sort of sense to you. So, I'll do this without guitar if possible. Yeah, so we'll go... Yeah, it's kind of sloppy here, but I'm just going to put the E in there. So it's ba ba da. I can't sing. Da 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 da. Ba da da. Da 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 da. Ba da da da. Whoops. So Elio, good point there. So Tony Rice has, I think there might be 3 instructional videos. They're all on Homespun Media. I have, I need to do a video about this, right? So I've got a long list of instructional materials that I desperately want to add to my collection, but I neither have the time nor the money. Or let me put it this way. Even if I had the money, I wouldn't have the time to consume them, which therefore makes it a lot less encouraging for me to spend the money on something that I'm not going to be able to use. So I had emailed Homespun Media about doing a partnership with them and reviewing a bunch of content on their website. I wrote that to them about 6 months ago, and I've not heard back from them, so probably not going to happen. But I'd absolutely love to own all of the Tony Rice instructional materials. In fact, there's a bunch of stuff on Homespun stuff that I'd love to just watch, because there's a ton of cool stuff, and not many people know about them as a company. So yeah. Electric Hillbilly says, I knew a professional musician who once went to a Tony Rice guitar seminar. He was so far over his head, he had no idea what Rice was trying to teach. Okay, so already we've got something we can talk about here. Does he play that as an open string? Oh, F in there. Really cool, like G7 line. Trust me, I am going to stop in a second and talk about this. Okay, great. Oh, your voice online. How's it going, brother? Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, cool. We've got the hotels. A really cool video on bluegrass jamming. Yeah, absolutely. The one that I actually really want to look into, and again, not because it's something that I will really take up, but they actually have a really cool looking video on bluegrass vocal harmonies, and I would love to just sit and listen to experts of that talk. And call it arrogant, right? But I am a wonderful proposition for Homespun to promote the content that they make, because there's a whole generation of players completely unaware of the stuff that they do, and I'd love to be able to big it up in the same way that there's plenty of great tuition sites out there. I can big up a bunch of their products because I've watched so much of their products, but it's really hard for me to really truly big up a company when I haven't seen their products. And then of course you get to the point where it's like, well, do I really want to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds to research products and then promote them for you? Not really. If I spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on these because you won't respond to my fucking emails, guess what? I'm just going to enjoy the videos for myself and never talk about them. So yeah, it's not like I'm looking for a payout or anything like that, but you know, come on. respond to my emails, assholes. Anyway, so let's talk about the playing in this. So as I said, this is absolutely all about outlining chord shapes, outlining chord tones. So I don't even need to look at the information on this. I don't need to look at what he's playing. I know that this is a G chord, and I know that this is a G chord, and here it changes to a C chord. And the reason I know this is because of what the lines that he is playing. So if you look at this movement, you're going to see him play this a lot. 3rd fret to the 4th fret to the open G string, okay? When we're doing that, that's the flat 3rd of G to the major 3rd of G to the open G. So the open G being the root. And then this is kind of open G major pentatonic. Plays this type of stuff all the time. So this 3-4-0. We're going to get that again here, 3-4-0. You will hear this lick all of the time in Tony's playing. It's a big part of that G position lick-based playing, right? So that's, important to note. And as this G major pentatonic line continues, you get this really cool chromatic descent. We hit the... I'm looking at notation, but really I want to name it in terms of tab. I want to think of this as being an E flat pulling off to a D. So E flat pulling off to D, and you'd think, okay, what's D got to do with anything? But what we're really doing here is we play the E flat, which is a tension note, D, which is a colour tone, and then we hit the C. Now this is the root of the C chord. We then hit that C, move up D, E flat to E. So this is this is really the kind of same basic idea here. We have the 2nd of C, the flat 3rd of C, and then the 3rd of C. So this idea here, I can't highlight multiple notes in Guitar Pro, but if you look at this, we have the root of C, the 3rd of C, the 5th of C, and then the root of C again. This is all very much a C lick. This sounds like a C chord, and it helps to outline the changes while he is playing, which is just a wonderful part of this kind of bluegrass style. It's what really got me into country music as well, outlining chord changes. Now from here, again, I'd look at this and I'd probably think of this as being like G major pentatonic, maybe G blues. Here, same idea. We move up a little bit into kind of 3rd position, if you want to call it that, in the classical sense of the word. This is more of a G7 idea. Unlike with G major pentatonic, where we would expect there to be an E note in there. Damn, this! I should really put transposing score on. But we don't have that down here. We have this F note, which is the flat 7 of G. So this is more of a G7 line than a G line. But my point is, there's a lot to analyze in this style. When you're studying this style of music, when you take an interest in this style of music, there is so much that you can learn about this stuff. And of course, if you want to learn more about this stuff, my channel is a great place to do that. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button, because I'm always talking about stuff like this. I did Chris a YouTube video on Bluegrass Harmony. I'm not sure, Yuvar. I should probably look into that. Yeah. I mean, Bill Monroe. Bill Monroe is the father of bluegrass. So yeah. All right, let's keep going. Ba-da-da. It's like G7, flat 7. That's classic lick. Ba-da-da-da-da. That flat 5 sound in there. Ba-da-da, ba-da. Oh, ba-da. It's the flat 7. It's a pull off there that time. Da 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 ya da da ba. Hit the E flat there. Ba ya da da da. Does this look familiar to you? Same idea. Literally from those 3 beats there, played verbatim here. This is a big part. Oh, sorry, my face is in the way. This is a big part of the bluegrass style, right? And I'm always talking about this in terms of learning and understanding how you improvise authentically within a style. I have too many students, I'm going to bring myself up on screen when I do this. I have too many students that come to me learning to play guitar, and they want to play, not necessarily like I do, but they understand that I have a good ear and I have an understanding of the things that I'm playing. So they want all of those things, and then when I say, right, we need to start learning vocabulary, we need to start learning licks, there's resistance. They feel that actually to become a great musicians don't learn licks. Great musicians learn licks. See what I just said to you there? Great musicians learn licks. Guess what I didn't do? Invent those words. Do you know why I didn't invent those words? Because if I just started inventing words, you wouldn't understand any of the things that I was saying. Being able to communicate with other people, other musicians, other music engaging members of the public, you have to play things that they understand. It's the same reason that, you know, if you transported I was going to say Pat Metheny for some reason, probably not the best example. Let's go with Kirk Hammett, right? If we transported Kirk Hammett into this band right now, it doesn't matter that he can play the E minor pentatonic scale, because that will all fit over this. It won't sound right. It won't appeal to the people that are into the genre, because in order to play this music, play the language, you have to be able to speak the language. So learning vocabulary and learning how people use the same 12 notes in order to effectively communicate is so unbelievably important. You can learn so much from transcribing a Tony Rice solo or learning a Tony Rice solo or any of the, you know, guys that play in these genres. Like, study the vocabulary. It doesn't matter who it is. Django had licks, and everybody that came after Django played things that Django played. And sure, you start to add to it. You add to the vocabulary, but you can't base it on nothing. You have to know the basics of what people play. So, sorry for the little rant, but I thought it was important. Ba-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da. That's put a hammer on there. Da-da-da-da. Grammaticism, why not? Da-da-da-da. We're facing the way again? Not yet. I imagine open G in there. Wonderful. I could probably put a tempo marker in here, right? So we're going to be able to play it along. Obviously, once I'm done with these, I will upload a transcription to YouTube, and you'll be able to download them on my Patreon page. 265, very fast. 265, cool. If you are enjoying this video, please do share. That's help. That's help. That's not a phrase. Yeah. What is going on Facebook? Oh yeah, this is what happens when you do a Rage Time video. People go nuts. People love a Rage Time video. But do you know what I like? Nerding out like this. I don't want to make Rage Time videos. I want to make nerdy guitar videos like this, where I can go into inordinate amounts of detail as to why a guitar player might have chosen a specific note. That stuff appeals to me. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at raging too, but good at everything. I'm just a talented motherfucker, aren't I? I have to say these things because no one else will. Da, 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 da. Is there a Brent Mason book in the works? Your videos have been a huge inspiration to me, and your Brent book in the style of 100 Country. I can't really do it, Adam. I would love to do it, but it's a copyright nightmare because, you know, Brent doesn't even own those solos. Those are all owned by the whoever owns the publishing for each one of those songs. So the composer of the song and the record label would argue that they own the recording, but it's a really complicated one. It's an absolute minefield. I'd never be able to go about licensing it. I have toyed with the idea of reworking the solos, so sort of making copyright-friendly versions of them and putting a book together of all of those, which yeah, sure, I'd be up for it. I'll talk to my publisher, see what he says. Oh, okay, so we changed position. Da 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 da. So we're in like second position. I'm seeing a bend. But let me... I mean, you're really getting an open G string. I'm putting that bend in there because he's clearly going for it. Da 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 da. It's like G minor blues. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You gotta know this stuff. You gotta know this stuff. 4 root flat 3 3. Da, 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 da. Now we're going to change position. He's going to go into, and we're going to talk cage shapes. Now he's going to go into the C shape because this is what they do. This is what bluegrass players do. We play out cage shapes. And I say we like I'm one of them. I'm not a bluegrass player. Wish I was. Actually, fun fact for you. I'd probably be a bluegrass player right now. In the last 4 months. I was going out, literally, walking to the front door to get in my car and go out and buy a 1978 Martin D18. D28. A D28. And as I was about to leave the door, leave the house, my wife decided to then drop the bombshell on me that she was leaving me. I really don't think she wanted me to buy that guitar. So I had to put buying that guitar on hold. And it's because of that I don't own a nice acoustic guitar now. I also don't own a wife, so you know, swings and roundabouts. Ba ba da da da. Da 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 da. Now, it just baffles me when I talk, sorry, let me move that so you can see. It baffles me when I instill the virtues of the cage system. I'm doing great, mate, I promise. When I try and instill the virtues of the cage system to people, and they're like, well, the cage system's rubbish, nobody uses the cage. This is so unbelievably caged. We've had all of this like open position, this is G-shape vocabulary. There's flavours of E shape that he plays in there. This is very much E shape, and then he hits these open strings and he uses that as a transition to jump up. And where does he jump up? Well, he just plays that C shape, and he does it so wonderfully. Yeah, you make a fair point. Well, it's one of those things, right? What I've always found is you don't need nice gear in order to play music. You absolutely don't need nice gear to play music. But having nice and authentic gear, or at least spending money on something, encourages you to play it because you don't want to feel like you wasted the money. If I went out and spent £2,000 on a nice acoustic guitar, you can bet I'm going to play that nice acoustic guitar every single day to get my money out of it, you know? So I feel like I've not just burned money. So, but you don't need it. But you do need a nice acoustic to play bluegrass. I have a terrible acoustic. Now I love this. I absolutely love this transition. This reminds me of an old Paul Gilbert lesson from Total Guitar Magazine where he talked about using open strings in order to facilitate position shifts, which is something he was clearly toying with at the time. It wasn't something that really manifested itself into Paul's playing, but when you look at Tony's playing, it's so fluid. If you look at the notation here, this line, none of this line looks disjunct, right? You have the notes here: A, E, C, C sharp, A, E, G, and E. None of those are a big jump, but when you look at physically how he's played that on the guitar, when you look at the tab, we're up in the kind of 10th fret C shape idea, and then we transition to the open position, and we just use that open string there to transition so fluidly. It's wonderful. Check it out. Listen to him play. I'll add the next bar in. It's just masterful, and you know the only way that you can learn to do something like that is you have to learn this fragment, and you'll know anytime you're in that C shape, G major chord, C shape, up here, that you can make this transition where you descend your triad, root, fifth, flat third to third, then use your open G string as that transition to that lower position. Dan Smith, how's it going, brother? Long time no speak. So we know what he's going to do. E shape, right? That's classic. Take your major chord, move it down a tone. Nate Murphy. Mate, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that in my last video I name checked you twice. I didn't want to feel like you had to be dragged into my Rage Time video. Especially as on reflection, I was looking through the footage of Coffee Music, and that literally twice, 2 of the last 6 videos they've uploaded have been Jacob Collier videos. Like fucking Jacob Collier is paying for promo on Instagram. Anyway, mate, I hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. I've been watching a bunch of your videos actually recently with my girlfriend, because you clearly have a lot of like shared tastes, but she's a singer, so getting to hear all these great songs that she loves and seeing them done like just so astonishingly well on a guitar is always fun. Yes. Yeah, Dan, I mean, the reason I didn't make the Rage Time you were expecting is because I had a long conversation with the person in question, and I feel that I've rectified the situation with him. So this is a nice, sixths idea. Takes the G major, descends down a tone, gives you it's really like an F sound. Then we're moving it up, it's like a C. I'm thinking, of course you could think of these as diatonic sixths in the key of G. But when I play sixth, I tend to think of the chord sound that you're implying. So that's a G major chord, that's an F major chord, that's a C major chord, and this is a B flat chord. And I think that's actually quite important when you think about it, because if you were playing diatonic to the key of G, you wouldn't play this. You would play, this would be a semitone high, you wouldn't play F, you play an F sharp, but this is, we're not thinking like a G7 sound. So. I really like this. Na, 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 na. It's like a C sus, which he then resolved. You actually kind of like need to do that because he does hold it down. So it goes like that. But I don't like the way that looks in the tab, so what I'm going to do is that. Whoops. Plus, Dan, I wanted to use that glorious clip that you made, but I did say, can I use that? And you didn't say yes, so... what's going on? On my Facebook. Bring the rage. Oh, it's sad that I have to make Rage Time videos, because I think I do these a whole lot better. Da 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 da. That note's just late, but I'm going to put it on the beat. Oh, well, off the beat. Well, ultimately, Dan, that was not because Jack agreed with me on that, but because that was the conclusion I came to. Ultimately, when you look at this situation, you got one guy that did a shitty thing, but actually, when you really get to the core of it, the shitty problem is the Instagram thing. It's totally not the individual. The individual's a kid. He's just a kid in college. He doesn't know. He doesn't know better, you know. And now he knows. I've had a long conversation with him, and he's learned a lot from it. And he's like, it never occurred to me. And like, I totally understand why you're saying what you're saying. Whereas pages like this that just steal other people's content, or in his case, he didn't pay for that feature, but he did just they took his video and said, we're going to post this on their page. Is that cool? And of course, he's got no reason to say anything other than, oh yeah, that's great, thanks so much, because he thinks he's getting something out of it, whereas in reality, they're using him as a way to get money out of other people, and I hate that. So. So I'm just going to end the solo like that. So that is a spot-on rendition of Tony's solo on that. Sounds like this. Now, just, of course, abso-fucking-lutely, but just wait to the hordes of people to jump on me like, why does this matter? Why do you talk about stuff like, why are you such a petty YouTuber? Go fuck yourself. I make better videos than you do. No one makes content like this. Okay, so I should... Why do you make petty content? Have you seen my live streams? No one's doing this. No one's got the balls to do this on YouTube like I do. Right, let's give it a count in. Let's try and play it along, see how it sounds. Okay, it's 2-2. Yeah, so 1, 2. So I'm just a little bit slow. Let's go away, NordVPN. Thank you. I'm not even going to try and butcher your name, but thank you for the sentiment. I do appreciate it. Give me a nickname that I can give you, because I can't try and pronounce that. I'm so sorry. Right, 1, 2. That's too fast. So we're in the middle ground. I was 1 BPM off. Right, 1, 2. Can't do that. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? I mean, why am I fucking this up so much? I can't do this anymore. I quit. I give... Just after bragging about my channel and how no one does what I do, I can't press play at the right time. What's wrong with me? What's happening here? Is this a speed issue? I'll try doing it. I was right with the tempo from before. Why do I care? Why does this matter this much? What am I doing with my life? I mean, I'm fine with it. It's accurate, but I just need to spend a bit of time sorting out the monstrosity that is the tempo on that one. That'll be easy. That won't take me long to get that done at all. I'll probably even get that one uploaded tonight, because why not? Before I go back to transcribing Luca Mantovinelli's album, 2 tracks left. Well, 1 3/4. Fuck, I've been on that album for a long time, haven't I? Oh, right. Give me a second, guys. Any questions about that so far? Does that make sense? Is there anything that you would like to ask about that? Any criticisms, comments, things that you like, things that you don't like? Of course, I care about all of those things. Someone wants a 1v1 versus me. That's fine. Right, fine. YouTube comments are blowing up. Sorry. No. Hey Levi, are you listening more or watching more when you transcribe a video? That's a really good question, John. Absolutely listening more. Yeah, it's a subconscious thing. Well, it's not one I've really put that much thought into. Like, obviously, when I'm doing these live transcriptions on YouTube, I'm always using a video because it means that there's something that you can see. But obviously, when I transcribe for a living, I'm not usually working from video. So, like, as an example, the Luca Mantovinelli album. You know, I can't rely on video for that. It's all audio. So, but I never really thought about whether or not when I'm using a video, do I use the video? But of course, I'm definitely listening. So yeah, specific cross picking. Sorry, if there was specific cross picking going on, would you feel the need to write that in? That's a really good question, Dan. And actually, Tony's actually a really interesting example of the cross picking thing, because he kind of breaks the rules. I say the rules. Certainly the things that I'm trying to work on with my students, which is that like the consistent alternate picking. Tony's picking hand is nowhere near as disciplined as say someone like Carl Miner. I'm thinking of like your Cracking the Code guys. So Carl Miner or David Greer or Molly Tuttle. When you study their picking hands, they don't play down beats with upstrokes, and they don't play up beats with downstrokes. Whereas Tony sometimes does. His picking hand is nowhere near as disciplined as those guys. So I wouldn't put that much time into that. And Pasquette says I'm incredible. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. So yeah, I'm just going to run my credits, and then I'll do the second solo, or certainly some of the second solo. So as always, a massive thank you to my wonderful supporters on Patreon. I would not be able to do what I'm doing for a living without the combination of my Patreon supporters and people buying my books. So if you enjoy the work that I'm doing, the best way to say thank you for that, of course, is to support me on Patreon or check out one of my books, many available on Amazon, link in the description. You can get your name listed in these credits. You can join my private Patreon Facebook group. You can download transcriptions that I do. You can be part of my monthly study clubs. You can have private lessons, all of that good stuff. Link is in the description. Come and support me. Do the best thing that you're going to do of 2021 and come and support a good, hard-working YouTube channel that doesn't feel the need to rip people off and sometimes needs to make rage time videos for a bit of engagement because no one's going to watch this. Oh, it's such a shame because there's some really good analysis at the start of this. All right, so let's take a look at his second solo. Now, I just want to listen to it first. This second solo is nowhere near as good as the first solo, but that's kind of the nature of improvisation, right? And I think that's another reason why I love the Bluegrass thing so much, because it's so improvisational in nature. It's about playing and having fun and seeing where the music takes you, while trying to pay respect to the music that you're playing, so outlining the changes, etc. Tony doesn't quite hit the changes as well on this second solo, so let's take a listen. But I think there's some cooler licks in there. I just don't think they're perfectly. I don't think they're the most fitting for this particular solo. So his playing was great there, but I just don't think it flowed quite as well over the chord changes. So let's take a look at what he's playing. Yeah, so it's ba-da. Ba-ya. Pre-band released. Ba-ya-da. Even? Yeah, I know the lick you're talking about. Well, I think I know the lick you're talking about there, Dan. Hopefully not the triplet one. I think the triplet lick is the thing that throws him off. But he does that grace note pull-off thing when he's up in that C position. That sounds awesome. F. Nope. Put the right notes in there. Move my face out of the way. What does he play there? That's cool. It's like a B flat major triad. Does he strum that there? Now these are kind of muffled. It's not really happening, but it's happening, right? No, they don't make money from the vids that they post, because obviously you can't monetize Instagram videos. But they make money from their vids in the sense that when they take your videos, or they take Jacob Collier's videos, or whoever's videos, and they post them on their page, which obviously gets a lot of engagement on their page numbers go up, etc. Then to a less experienced player, somebody that wants to be as popular as someone like yourself, they could be good players. It's completely irrelevant to these pages. These pages will then sell them a feature on their page for any like $100, $300. I know certainly some. Pickup Jazz was another one that I meant to mention that in that video, and they've completely forgot to. But it's the same idea. They charge silly amounts of money to young, inexperienced players that think being on these pages is going to get them the Instagram following that they want to have, that they think that they need in order to make money. And because they see guys like yourself with content up there, and they go, well, these players that I respect pay to have their videos featured on here, so maybe it'd be a good thing for me to pay to have my videos featured on here. Or even if they don't think that you pay to have your videos featured on there, still the promise of, like, because these pages could say, I'll tell you what, we're going to post a Nate Murphy video, then we'll post your video, then we'll post the Jacob Collier video, so you can be sandwiched in between these great players. And yeah, that's tempting to a young player that's just desperate to build their following, So that's how they're making money, and they are making money. So G Blue scale. What's he play there? I'm listening. Da 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 ba. It's messy, Actually messy. The way I would look at it, and the point that I tried to make in that video, Nate, is that if I were in your position, like, I don't want to tell you how to run your business, you have to decide whether or not your videos being up there is profitable for you and it brings in any benefit for you. If I was in your position, I would feel that I would bring in more benefit to them than they were bringing to me. And I just hate the thought of somebody promoting one of my videos, them making out like they're doing me a favor, and then because of that, someone uses that as a way to sort of be convinced to then part with money. That's not something that I could ever be okay with. I'd hate the thought of someone, inadvertently using me to sell a product or to sell a service. I could just, no. This crazy, Nate, like absolutely crazy. You've got some like astonishingly good arrangements of stuff. There's no reason that you shouldn't have transcriptions of those up on SoundSlice or wherever, even your own website, of arrangements of things that you've been doing. Absolutely no reason that you shouldn't be able to make some money in some form or another. The reason I'm not heavy active on Instagram is because it's not that it's a waste of money, but it's not an effective way to make money, I don't think. Not an effective way, because Instagram don't even let you post links, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fucker. Like, it's hard to promote my books on there because you can't link to anything. No worries, man. Anytime, I'm always here. Now it sounds like we've got ba da da ba. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the lick I don't like. It's annoying that you can't see where he's playing that. Oh, whoops. I've got double stop and it's going to be... Do you ever have to clean up a solo in transcription? They'll put in the odd scuff note they were going for. Yeah, I've already done that in this. I think that lick there, I think he basically doesn't hit any of those notes, but he's going for them. I'm very reluctant to transcribe things and just put loads of X's all over the place. Depending on what the job is, I might put over this, muffled notes or scuffed or just. But exactly that. Like, I don't think people want to practice mistakes for authenticity, and if they do, they're making a terrible mistake. Open G. Binned it on the day. So again, you can hear ba ba da da, but this is so like dead. And then we're rushing here. Whoops. You make a fair point, you boy. And to John's question earlier about do I work from video or audio? Well, I can't see him now, so. No balls. Now, this is the part I like. There's like G blues scale. Repeat that. And then you do the grace note. That's really cool. Da, 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 da. Now at a slow speed, I'm playing at 35% speed here. So if I wanted to write that at, you know, the way it's played at a slow speed, we would go like this. It would look like that, right? And that'll play, right? But when you listen to this speed, I don't really process those as being 16th notes. I hear these as being bra, bra, do, da, do, bra. I would never use note guessing in Transcribe. No, never. And the reason for that is guessing. You never guess. And if you are going to guess, you trust your own ability over a software's. So I would grace note these. Like that. Does he play that? I feel that's what he's going for there. Ballsy found a pentatonic. That is a ballsy minor pentatonic run. Hammer or slide? Obviously a slide. Third fret. So he does hit the B. Now we know what this is going to be. It's no, he does give it value. Does he? What am I doing? This, you know, these triads, so this is common G7 vocabulary. Da, 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 da. No. I'm just about to let ring over all of that because he's really holding that C chord down. Oh, what's he playing? Is he playing that? No, I can't remember. If we get the second two chords. He is playing that. So that would be... would he play that? No. Yeah. So you wouldn't write it like that, you write it like that. That makes more sense. It's an F triad. It's a hammer. Ba-da-da-da-da. Classic bluegrass lick. There we go. Done. Listen to it. So 2 solos there. Some wild licks in the second one. Again, I don't think it will play along with Tony in time, but we'll give it a bash. And then we're done. So we'll go... The nature of the beast. This is a live band. They will speed up and slow down. So we'll go... helps if we put the count in. Start out really well. Again, it's accurate, so as accurate as we're going to get it. Right, let me save that because this is going to go up for patrons. There's all of Luca's album. This is go in Dropbox on my Patreon folder. Patreon. And as you can see, I don't have a folder called porn, so I'm an adult. What are we calling this? Tony Rice, £9 hammer. Sweet. So as I say, I will upload that for my patrons. And if you would like to get that, join me on my study club transcription challenge tier. So yes. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I hope you've enjoyed some of this. I hope you've enjoyed all of this, actually. I would love it if you've enjoyed every last second of this. If you haven't, I do apologise. Contact me for a refund for your ticket price, and I will get that sent out to you. God, why am I such an asshole? I want to say a huge thank you to my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. You keep these videos coming. So if you'd like to join me over on Patreon, it is a huge, huge help to do so. Link in the description. You can support me for as little as $1. $1. And yeah, you can get lots of cool stuff in return. I do have multiple levels. person who I can't pronounce the name of. I have a $1 tier. I have a $5 tier, which is my transcription challenge tier. You get to download my transcriptions. I have a $10 tier, which is get your name in the credits, as you can see on screen there. I have a $20 tier, which gets you access to my monthly private study club stream, where I take a book or a video and I work from it, study, practice. We talk about practice routines. And I have a $50 tier, where you can get a monthly private lesson with me. So that's a great way for me to plug that. So thank you very much for encouraging me to do that. Again, link in the description. Please do go check out the Patreon page. Oh, you don't want that. I totally pressed the wrong one. Let's do that. There we go. Sorry, you had to see OBS there. I will be back over the coming days. I've got a Guitar Souls podcast to film tomorrow, so expect a Guitar Souls podcast to go live on Monday. Yeah, on Monday. That is the plan. Yeah. And you will have a good time with that. Please do go check out my latest Rage Time video. I had some fun with that one. Have a think about the words that I say. Share it with people that might enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I will see you for another live stream and more YouTube videos. I've got to do one about New Year's resolutions as well. More YouTube videos very soon. Much love. Goodbye.